High on a hill, surrounded by twisted ancient trees, stood Blackwood Manor, a once grand mansion now shrouded in decay and darkness. The locals knew to keep their distance, for it was said that the house was cursed, a place where the past refused to die and where the spirits of the damned roamed freely. Years ago, the manor was the pride of the Blackwood family, a wealthy lineage known for their extravagant parties and mysterious ways. But one fateful night, everything changed. A fire broke out, consuming much of the mansion, and with it, the lives of the Blackwood family. It was said that no one survived, yet the charred remnants of the house remained, as if defying the flames that had sought to destroy it. But it wasn't just the physical structure that endured. The spirit of the manor itself seemed to cling to the mortal world, unwilling to let go of the secrets it harbored. Whispers spread through the nearby village, stories of ghostly figures seen wandering the grounds, strange lights flickering in the windows, and, most chilling of all, the sounds of music and laughter echoing from within, as if the Blackwoods were still hosting their endless parties. For years, no one dared to enter Blackwood Manor. But curiosity has a way of creeping into even the most sensible minds. One autumn evening, a group of friends, Sarah, Mark, Emily, and Jason, decided to visit the manor. They had heard the stories, but none of them truly believed in ghosts. It was supposed to be a bit of fun, a way to test their courage. Armed with flashlights and a sense of adventure, they made their way to the decaying mansion. The gate creaked ominously as they pushed it open, the rusty hinges groaning in protest. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and rot, and a cold wind whispered through the trees, as if trying to warn them away. But the group pressed on, laughing nervously as they approached the front door, which hung ajar, inviting them in. Inside, the mansion was a shadow of its former glory. Dust covered every surface, and the once opulent furniture was now little more than decayed wood and tattered fabric. Cobwebs hung from the ceiling, and the air was thick with the musty smell of abandonment. The grand staircase, once the centerpiece of the foyer, now loomed like a skeletal monument to a forgotten time. As they explored the manor, strange things began to happen. The temperature dropped suddenly, their breath visible in the cold air. The flashlights flickered, casting eerie shadows on the walls. And then, faintly at first, they heard it, the sound of a piano playing somewhere deep within the house. "Did you hear that?" Sarah whispered, her voice trembling. The others nodded, their bravado quickly fading. They followed the sound, moving deeper into the heart of the manor. The music grew louder, a haunting melody that seemed to wrap itself around them, pulling them closer. Finally, they reached the source of the music, the ballroom. The room was massive, with high ceilings and tall windows that let in the pale moonlight. At the far end of the room, a grand piano stood untouched by time, its keys moving on their own, playing a sorrowful tune. And around the piano, they saw them, the Blackwoods. The family appeared as they had on the night of the fire, dressed in their finest clothes, their faces frozen in expressions of horror and pain. They moved as if in a trance, dancing to the ghostly music, their feet never quite touching the ground. Emily gasped, and in that moment, the ghosts turned to face them. The music stopped, plunging the room into a deafening silence. The spirit's hollow eyes bore into the group, and a voice, low and menacing, echoed through the room. "You shouldn't have come," it hissed. Panic set in as the friends turned to flee, but the door slammed shut before they could reach it. The walls seemed to close in around them, the shadows growing darker and more oppressive. The ghosts advanced, their forms twisting and contorting, becoming more grotesque with each step. "Please let us go," Jason shouted, but there was no mercy in the eyes of the spirits. As the Blackwoods closed in, the friends felt an icy grip tighten around their throats, choking off their screams. The last thing they heard was the haunting melody of the piano starting up again. The the ghostly tune echoing in their minds as the darkness consumed them. The next morning, the villagers found the front gate to Blackwood Manor wide open. The friends were never seen again, and though the house appeared as lifeless as ever, some claimed they could hear faint music drifting down from the hill at night, an eerie reminder of those who had dared to enter the cursed manor and never returned. Blackwood Manor remained, standing like a sentinel over its own grave, its walls echoing with the tragic tales of those trapped within. And the whispers grew louder, warning all who passed by to stay away, for the house would never rest, and neither would its ghostly inhabitants.